Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today's video is the third episode in Trappist Sundays, and today we've got Westmalle Trappist beer, and I've chosen the Westmalle Tripel as the beer. We've got some feta cheese and a little bit of cheddar cheese as well. So I'm going to have a little chat about Westmalle and the Abbey and the brewing, and then we'll taste it. We'll do it with the cheese, and then we'll taste it with the sediment in. So here we go. Okay, so Westmalle is the Abbey of Our Lady of the Holy Heart of Westmalle. That's the actual name of the abbey. Founded in 1794 and granted abbey status in 1836. After basically, well, the monks are commonly known as Trappists, the Cistercians of the strict observant Trappist, derived from the French Abbey of Notre Dame de la Grande Trappe. So that's why they came about. The Trappists came over to Antwerp, Westmalle, and they fled from the Trappe Abbey and arrived in Antwerp, in Westmalle, in a small farmhouse called Nieuwit Rust. Never Rest was a little farmhouse to start it off with. Between 1815 and 1830, the territory was in the United Kingdom of Netherlands. The then government wanted to abolish Trappists, but the monks of Westmalle proved usefulness by founding a school and a guest house. So basically, they proved that they were worth keeping in that area. They were, basically founding things, doing things within the community. So the government decided to go back on that. So the monks were allowed one measure of, it was either beer or cider each day. And in Westmalle, they decided to have the measure of beer. So what they decided to do then, so since 1836 basically, the monks brewed Westmalle, and it was a small brewery, and they were producing what they call as, like, I think it's called the Trappist Extra nowadays. They was basically brewing that beer for themselves, and then they started to sell the beer at the gates, and then all the way up to 1921 it was being sold through the gates, and then they started to sell it through traders. So Westmalle didn't really start selling to the general public as a whole, getting it out there until 1921. But I think Westmalle is one of the most, I think it's known worldwide, and you can get hold of it even in the supermarket nowadays. You can get hold of a Westmalle Trappist beer. Okay, anyway, back to the information. So 1900s, the abbey took on its current shape. So they had a bit of a construction during 1900. The Germans destroyed the brewery during World War One, and then 1930s, the cow barn, which was on the site, was renovated, and a new brewery was established in the grounds of the abbey. The brewery funds, the cost so basically everything they get from the brewery is funded. So all the funds from the brewery, the actual brewery sales fund all the actual activities in the abbey, and anything that's left over then goes to local charities around Westmalle. Unfortunately, and there's a little bit in my book here as well about this. It says here, Westmalle, while no monks remain involved in Westmalle's brewing, they play an active role in the brewery operation. They sit on the board of administrators, hold all the shares of a separate brewing company, and control the investment and charitable decisions. More and more, they try to give a large lump sum to bigger organisation. The same is true of the other abbeys. The trend is to consider it all together, to give a sum to the general abbot in Rome, who will gather everything and divide it based on priorities worldwide. So basically, what they do at Westmalle, they actually employ professional brewers, and the monks will supervise what's going on there in the brewery. But they actually employ, outside of the abbey, professional brewers come in, and then they brew this beer, and it's supervised and overlooked by the Westmalle Trappist monks. Westmalle beers are all bottle conditioned. They go through a re-ferment in a warm cellar. They've actually got a special room where they re-ferment in the bottle, and I think it's about 2 weeks. So they go through the normal process. They bottle condition it. They add a little bit more yeast, a little bit of sugar, and it goes into the bottle, and then they put it into a warm cellar room for 2 weeks, and they have little gauges on the top of the bottle so they can see what pressure's building them, that it's ready to go out towards the general public. So that's quite interesting. Got a little bit here about the quality of beer remains the first objective at Westmalle. That is why the bottling plant was modernised in 1956. In 1968, the brewery set up its own water purification plant. Massive, really, all this sort of stuff you don't realise, and it's all come from the Trappist monks, and it's just evolving all the time. The monks are keen to use new technology. It benefits the quality of their beers. In 1991, they invested in a computer-controlled brew hall. The bottling plant was upgraded again for the second time in the year 2000. In addition, the monks installed a maturation chamber, which offered the ideal conditions for the beer to re-ferment in the bottle. So that's what they called it, a maturation chamber. A new brew hall was installed at the Abbey a few years ago. Just don't really think. Sorry, the camera cut off there, so I'll try and get back into it. So the brewery has selected the purest ingredients for over 180 years. Their own water, 100% barley malt, genuine hop cones, sugar and yeast from the Abbey's own culture. This is how this traditional beer is brewed. Defiance of any trends, each investment is made to achieve a higher quality. This has been the guiding principle throughout the history of the brewery. And I think that's about it for that. So let's get back onto the actual beer now. So yeah, there's a lot of, again, there's a bit of a story, a bit of history there. Again, it's one of them breweries that got basically demolished and took over by the Germans during World War One, and rebuilt by the monks in the 1900s. And to this day, they've been giving us the Trappist Westmalle beer. They're also part of, I actually got this little booklet as well. And so this just tells you very briefly about, it's a bit like very brief history. Westmalle Extra, Double and Triple are brewed in the Trappist Abbey of Westmalle. Trappists are Cistercians of strict observance, I've always mentioned that. Trappists lead frugal lives and possess no personal property. They devote any financial surplus they have to supporting other abbeys and the charitable projects. There's also a guest house on premise for those seeking peace and reflection. That guest house is quite significant to Westmalle because that is what changed the government all the way back in 1836, when they was trying to get them out there, 1815 to 1830. In their search for God, the early medieval monastic rule of Saint Benedict serves as their guiding principle. They make cheeses. They make lots of different cheese, different actually maturation cheeses. Like I said before, the 1836 when they brewed Extra, and you can now buy Extra. Extra is becoming more available. It's all traditional brewing using entirely natural ingredients. Westmalle for every day. So the Extra, and I've got the Triple here. So the Triple, it says generous golden yellow Trappist beer, 9.5%, with a fruity aroma, the complex palette of flavours, and with a long, slightly bitter finish. So yeah, and like I say, they've got cheeses, and they're on the back. They've got 2-month maturation, 6-month, and 12-month cheeses. So Westmalle, quite a busy little abbey there. Westmalle beer and cheeses are authentic Trappist products, recognisable by the ATP label, which is on the back of here. You can't see that on the camera there. There's a little label. This means that they are made within the walls of a Trappist abbey. For this reason, the term Trappist designates a product origin rather than type. So that's what I was saying on the introductory video. It's not a style beer. Trappist is like I say, that's the actual monks. Okay, I think I've covered absolutely everything there. So let's get that beer open. Let's try it with cheese. This is the bit you've been waiting for. I'm sorry it's taken a while to get to this point. But I do enjoy the history. I really do. If I'm drinking something, it's nice to know a bit of the history. Well, I think so anyway. There's the cap. That's the cap on there. Fast focusing. At least it's not raging out the bottle. It says pour slowly at the side. 9.5% as well. This it's a big triple beer. I'm looking forward to doing the double beer. That'll come on the channel as well. You do say that watch that yeast and don't introduce it. So I don't want to introduce it anyway, because I want to do it after I've done the tasting and then after I've added the cheese. So I'm quite happy to leave that. They say about a centimetre. Leave about a centimetre. There it is in the glass. Now the carbonation is looking for me fairly low, which is superb. Yeah, can't see. A little slight haze on there. Nice white creamy head. Wow, yeah. So straight away, one of the key aromas there is sweet malt and banana. I had this on the what was the last one I did? I can't quite remember what the last beer I did now. The Trap Blonde. At 9.5% though, there's no alcohol aroma coming off it, which I'm quite surprised at. That head's slightly going away now. You can see that in the glass there, just slight carbonation rolling up. But it is sweet banana in the aroma. The look is golden. It looks superb, it really does. It's clear. It's got a little bit of chill haze as well. I pulled it out about half an hour from the fridge. It might be still a little bit too cool for this, but I don't know. Yeah, cheers. Let's get into it. The first thing I note there is, at 9.5%, I was expecting it to be really boozy, and it's not, but it is a little bit warming. As it's going down, it's warming. It's got a nice carbonation to it. It's not overcarbonated at all. It's creamy. It's got a nice medium body. I won't say it's full bodied, even at that percentage. It's medium body. It's got a lovely, this is going to sound absolutely crazy, it's got a lovely bitterness going through it, and it feels like you are tasting the hops more. Now I was expecting to taste more of that yeast, like the banana, clove, but I'm getting more of the hop character in that, and it's like a SARS or something along them lines, a bit like you'd have in a Pilsner, and it's got like a Pilsner-esque feeling on the tongue. Let's go back again. That banana's there. It's definitely there. I think the first sip, I was just taken back with the fact it wasn't too boozy, and then the heat was going down. There is that banana there. It's not powerful. It's really well balanced. That beer is beautiful. It really is beautiful. Dare I say it? That is it. 9.5% is well hidden, apart from that little burn, and you could get in trouble with that, because I think you could easily drink the free 30ml bottle without thinking about it, because to me it's coming over a bit like a Pilsner. I think that's the best way. I don't know if they may have used Pilsner malt in this. My book might tell me, so I might have a look at that. Anyway, that is a cracking triple beer, 9.5%, superb. Let's try it now with a little bit of feta. And I've also got a little bit of cheddar, because when I had the La Trappe, the feta worked. When I had the Tint Meadow, the feta didn't work, but the cheddar did. So it'd be interesting. They do say that feta goes well with a triple style beer. Now the feta's a little bit funky, a bit salty. So let's try the beer. I'm not winding nobody up when I say this. When you have a feta and you have that triple, it then brings the sweetness forward. So the bitterness is calmed back, and the sweetness of the malt comes forth. Maybe the sweetness of that banana comes forth as well. I can see what they're saying. It really does work with the feta cheese. That is absolutely stunning. Let's try cheddar. English cheddar. English cheddar is nowhere near as salty. A bit more zingy. This is bizarre. I don't know how this works. Don't know the chemistry. But the cheddar is bringing out the alcohol. So when I had the cheddar then, I felt the carbonation more, and I felt I could taste more of the alcohol. So the feta works fantastic with it. The cheddar changes the taste and brings out the alcohol up front. I don't know why, I have no idea. But yeah, depends what you like. It seems to bring out carbonation, the cheddar, and a bit more of the alcohol, where the feta smooths things and sweetens the beer. I don't know what's going on there. Let's get the last little bit into the glass, that yeast, and let's see if it gets more of the banana going on. It's a really good beer though, it really is. There you go, you can see that now. It's just slightly hazed it up. Cheers again. There you go. There you go. That banana is more forward now. That yeast is carrying a lot of flavour. I would say if you try this, try it both ways. Or you could try the yeast. You do say that people just pour that yeast into a little glass and try it, and if you like it, then add it to the beer. For me, adding it has only improved it. It's not done anything but improve it. And I think that is a cracking Trappist beer. Really enjoyed that. And just let me quickly, before I go, check to see if I've got a feeling I could have Westmalle's recipe in this book. Got the Westmalle double there, the Westmalle Tripel. It says, there you go, it's Pilsner malt, Pilsner malts, sugar, Tettnang, SARS, I think you get SARS, I got that, Stilling Goldings, and sometimes others, and the yeast is a Westmalle's house yeast. That is superb, absolutely superb triple. I'm actually going to think about brewing that on this channel for this series as well, because that is superb. 9.5%, cracking, I've enjoyed that. Okay, I think I've banged on long enough, taken a lot of your time, and I do apologise for that, but I got a bit involved in, I do like the history and stuff, and I do like to do these tastings. Okay, thank you, cheers, and I'll see you on the next one.